You know, other Pokemon I might want to see in Unite. So, like, my favorite Pokemon, of course, is not on here, and that's Sneasel. Obviously, Sneasel would end up being Weavile if it got added on here. I don't think... well, okay. I do think we would see Weavile eventually, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Mostly because mostly because we have Absol. Weavile kind of falls into Absol's wheelhouse. So, I mean, even though it's a, you know, one-stage evolution, its moveset would end up looking very similar to Absol. Only with the exception of maybe add some ice moves. So, I don't think my personal favorite Pokemon is going to be in here anytime soon. In terms of some of my other favorite Pokemon, let's see. Torterra. Torterra would probably work better as like a stage boss. You know, like Avalog in Shiver City, or Regigigas in the Garden one. Just like one that stands there and then does damage whenever you try to attack it. That kind of thing. Because Torterra, the thing with Torterra is that it's a walking landmass. It's very similar to Crustle, except for the fact that it's like, you know, about 10 times bigger. So, it would look really weird for Torterra to be about the size of Crustle and walking around about the speed of Crustle, which wouldn't make any sense. So, yeah, no, I think it would work better as a stage boss. What are some other ones? Mawile. Mawile would be interesting. Do we have any? We have a steel type already. We have Lucario. And we have a few fairies here and there. But Mawile isn't really... What makes Mawile significant isn't the typing necessarily. It's the combination typing that makes it kind of a pain to deal with. So what I would want to see, actually, is Mega Mawile. I don't know how realistic that would be. But if they decide to start adding Mega Evolutions in here, which would be weird that they would do that for certain Pokemon, because there's Mega Evolutions for the Kanto starters too. So I don't know. That might be way down the line if they do that. But Mega Mawile would probably be interesting, just because it would definitely be able to compete alongside a lot of these more stronger Pokemon. But as regular Mawile, not quite so much. It would be really weird to see it move around though, because it's like, it sort of like walks backwards. Because it's like its mouth is its hair, and then it walks backwards, and it's I've never actually seen a Mawile actually move like it's actually trying to go somewhere, you know. So I'm not sure how well that one would work. Yeah, we only have one of the Galar starters, don't we? So you could add the other Galar starters, which would be like Inteleon, which would actually be very different from some of these other water types. Because, like, Greninja is... Well, Greninja is the best example to reference, because Blastoise and Slowbro have a lot of overlap, and Cramorant has a little bit of overlap, but he has a couple of unique things about him. And then, you know, Greninja's like a ninja. So, but Inteleon's like one of the few water type starters where it's like you're definitely getting into a different kind of territory, because he's like the water sniper dude, you know, so he's like shooting water bullets at you. So that would be kind of interesting. I'm not sure how well that would work as far as this type of game, but that's something to consider. I like Rillaboom. I don't know how he would necessarily work here, just because all of his drumming things require him to have his drum, so, I mean, he has to carry it around, kind of thing, so, I'm not sure how well that would work. Chestnut, there we go. So yeah, Delphox would just be another mage. So Delphox would basically be him, except with a penchant for Harry Potter. You know, I don't know if that's necessary. Chestnut might be okay, because I mean he'd be a little bit different just because he has his own unique ability, which is the Spike Shield, which I think they've given that to other Pokemon since then, since he's not available and everything. So, but I mean that would be something. Just add Chestnut, make him a defender, possibly, or an all-arounder. Most of the fighting types end up being all-arounders, I've noticed. But, you know, make him a defender, let him use his shield for stuff. You know, that'd be kind of cool. Gardevoir. If we have Gardevoir, does that mean we're going to not get Gallade at some point? I'd be curious to know whether that's actually true or not. Because obviously we don't have branched evolutions. I don't think they necessarily... I don't know exactly how the game's programmed or anything specifically, but it seems like you very much could just set a button for when they hit that level, you know, do I want to go Gardevoir or do I want to go look to Gallade? Well, I feel like Gallade would probably service us better in this fight, so I'm going to go Gallade today. And hit the right button, and then, you know, off you go and Gallade instead of Gardevoir. That would be interesting. There are some other, like, branched evolutions that you could do. That would be interesting, too. Like, Slow King. You could go Slowbro or you could go Slow King. I don't remember what the difference between Slowbro and Slow King would be. I'd have to look it up. I guess with Slowbro and Slow King, what you'll end up doing is doing Galarian Slow King instead. It's probably what it is. But so far, there's not a variant for Gardevoir or Gallade. So, I don't know. Maybe... But I can easily see that's how they would handle the branched evolution thing, is that we'll just do a different region's version of it. So, Blissey is our only Gen 2 Pokemon right now. Well, I mean, I would love to see some more Gen 2 representation here other than Blissey. I mean, out of my Gen 2 list, I think Blissey was at the very bottom. Blissey's the only one that I put in, like, the trash category, because I didn't like it very much. So, but, like, there's some good Gen 2 Pokemon you could put in here other than Sneasel. I mean, Heracross be a bug fighting type. That's a unique typing we haven't seen yet. It would be a, you know, character to put in here. I don't know if he would wind up... He would probably wind up like Lucario as an all-arounder, just because he has so much health. You could also do Miltank. Miltank as either a defender or a support. Or both. I don't know. I mean, she could end up being very similar to Blissey in the sense that she can heal people and she can basically take a ton of damage. So, I mean, that's basically what she did alongside Blissey. It's just Miltank was slightly more offensive than Blissey. So, she could be an all-arounder too. You know, just emphasize the damage and interrupts as opposed to... Well, that would make her a defender, right? Interrupts would be defender, although Blissey has one too, so I don't know. Typhlosion, and I don't know. I mean, would Typhlosion really be that different from Charizard? Well, I guess it would be. Well, it would have to be, right? Because it has Flame Wheel. Okay. Okay, I could see that. Yeah, okay. So, Typhlosion might be interesting. Feraligatr, I think, is a little too similar to, like, Slowbro and Blastoise. Meganium? Oh, jeez. It seems more like Meganium would be better as, like, a boss Pokemon or like a mob of some kind. Not necessarily a playable character, just because there is not a whole lot that Meganium has going for it, other than looking like a giant doofus. Don't get me wrong, I mean, if I get to play Chikorita for half a minute before I evolve into it, I would do it. But the last update I saw that they did, all they did was buff Blissey. Her healing scale with her special attack better. So, which is fine. I mean, she needs some help sometimes, but I don't know that it's necessary, but I'm not going to argue with them if they're going to buff one of my Pokemon. So,